Hey, so this is going to be a T-side ancient demo review. We're looking at the match from earlier today, Team Liquid versus OG Esports. Everyone in NA wants to know who is the biggest Liquid fan. The answer is Dave is the biggest Liquid fan. Anyways, so what we're looking at here is a match where on CT side Liquid get 8 rounds, and then on their T side they beat OG 8-1. So just trying to see like what clicked. It looks like NAF goes 8-2, Yakindar goes 8-6 for the top frags. So we'll kind of be focusing, I guess, like on what NAF does here. So let's check it out. Also, shout out Nate for asking for the T-side ancient demo review. So let's see what we have here. So he's throwing a decoy for fun. I like that. You know, make them think maybe it's a fast mid. We can see here all the enemies pushed up mid, and they're getting ready for an A pop. So this is actually ideal. There's one player playing back on, like, kind of back default. I think this is one of the broken angles where you can barely see his head. So what did we do? We smoked Donut, and then we mollied back default. Alright, and we're just in a post plant. Where'd they plant? Very nice, NAF. Alright, so planting here. So this plant's very good because you can see it from like kind of like over here default, and then especially like on a pistol round where they're likely, you know, hopefully, I mean they can. Honestly, they could still have a smoke, but if they didn't have a smoke, you could just like jump spot here infinitely and they'll never be able to kill you. Yeah, so another round. Let's see where NAF goes. So last round they did an A pop. NAF's doing some feign mid control. He flashes mid early while his team are setting up for, looks like a B pop here. So Nitro went and I believe he mollied into cave. The enemies. So NAF's making A presence and they're just flashing over B, and the team's swinging up onto B. So awesome set piece by them to see the long and short smokes and the pop flash Nitro through. NAF was doing basically a feign mid and then also an A main presence, so he just kind of like naded close A main and let them know. But yeah, so he didn't really see much in the beginning of the round, it seems, and then yeah, rotates towards B with the squad. It clears out Cheetah, his teammates in cave. Awesome. Post plant. Plant the bomb B, save. Alright, so we saw an A pop and a B pop. We did, I mean, the thing is though, we did see like, it did look like a classic default. So now they're smoking mid fast. NAF's coming towards mid. They know what the money situation is. NAF doesn't see anything mid, so it's like, hey, if they're not pushing mid, could potentially be an A stack or a B stack. Because teams kind of have tendencies where, you know, on eco rounds are kind of gamble stacking things. NAF walks out mid. Alright, they're in a 2v5 situation. He finds Neofrag. I guess Neofrag pushed A main while NAF was walking out mid and then was setting up there. He just threw a smoke for CT on A. Has a gap in it, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. I think the CT's heard that smoke and it probably prompted them to start walking towards A. So we know NAF only dies twice this half. I don't think he's died yet, so they may actually win this 2v. Was a 2v5, right? There's the first death. All right. So NAF is gonna do the instant window smoke. Or house smoke, I mean instant house smoke. Good stuff. Looks like they're doing feign mid control. Liege put out their Molotov. Yakindar's making B presence, and they're setting up for an A pop. I guess Liege is going to try to do like pretty much like a very active lurk. He's going to actually try to split like off this timing here. So they start throwing the A nades. They molly default. They're spamming. I didn't know you could spam the double box there. They cleared out double with the spam, so that was really cool to see. So they smoked CT, like from here, and then mollied default, and someone else mollied back big, and then they also spammed double. So I don't really know where they could have been other than maybe Temple, but they also have AKs, so they're probably doing long range moves for that. So again, though, the bomb spammed or planted here. You can see it from Temple. They could spam anyone that's trying to defuse, even if they do get smoked off. Yeah, so good stuff by them. So interesting. I mean, we saw A pop, B pop. They kind of defaulted and lost on the eco, and then now they did like an A pop with active mid lurk, but they did like early. Elige went mid and like did like feign mid control, but you know they smoked house early, and then he extinguished their Molotov, and then Yakindar goes in Molly's cave early, so it looks kind of like a B default. And then did like an A pop off of it. So again, we're seeing the feign mid control by if we smoke house and extinguish their Molotov, and Yakindar again is going for fast cave control. Let's back that up and see what he's doing just to get that in the video. So Yakindar has the best B spawn. Nitro's behind him. Sure, Nitro flashes for him, right? Yeah, so Nitro's going to flash for him. Kindar's going to run up Molly. The flash pops. Boom, finds the exit. Awesome. So Nitro's doing some... Okay, and this is like the second step. Interesting. Okay, so they're throwing the B-pop nades from the other round, and Nitro finding this kill is just massive for them. So just to break this down, what they did, so they take Cheetah here with this Molly here, and then the pop flash here, right? So Yakindar is able to flash into the player if the player decides, oh, let me swing through the Molly, right? So if you swing through that Molly, you're going to eat the flash. Yakindar gets the free kill. I mean, granted, though, Nexo, I don't think was actually blind because he was kind of a little bit more tucked and then swung. But I think it's a really good protocol. And then after you have Cheetah here, right, or Jaguar, this Molotov that Nitro threw here, where he just like stands here and left clicks up here, it will land here, right? So this will molly out the back of cave, because this is like the typical position where someone may be jiggling and they may throw a smoke off this wall eventually, and usually if that's happening, they may or may not have a teammate playing in these close positions. So kind of like the protocol that everyone's doing right now is you take Cheetah fast as you get timing here with like the molly and the pop flash, just like how we saw Nitro and Yakindar, and then once your teammate mollies this, then you would want to have this player could like HE off and like have an HE pop around here to shell shock them so they can't really hear you running, and then you know one maybe two players can come over here and run in here and try to get some kills. Yeah, I mean just good way to isolate players. So let's go back to NAF's POV. Hopefully I didn't miss this entire round. Is this the same round start as before? Yep. All right, sweet. So let's go back to NAF since we were focusing on NAF here. Sorry, I went on a little tangent about the taking Cheetah and taking Cave. So off doing all that, they're literally doing a full B fake. They just walk out A. They get contact on default. They're like, alright, we know where he is. Let's molly and aid him out. So Neofrag takes a little bit of damage, but it looks like he dropped the smoke and then now has like a one-way. I kind of want to get this down in the video too. I mean, this is like the important stuff, like the reactions. Like I could teach my A anchor on my team how to do this. Kind of like, hey, like here's like a sweet smoke that I saw Neofrag use. So okay, he gets kill. He just looks to the left there. And then now he's able to jump up here, and this creates just like a one-way for him to use around here. Pretty sick stuff. So back to NAF's POV, because we know NAF is goated, especially in this demo. Alright, so Nitro finds the cave aggression. So this is like a good spot just to be holding too. See where he's like, yeah, he's just literally standing here in this corner. So this area is usually like the player will walk into, and let's see what happens. Oh, okay, so Nitro gets to see his leg because he comes here and he wants to jiggle this first, you know what I mean, to make sure no one's peeking this. So when he jiggles this, Nitro actually catches his leg, so he's fully prepared for the fight. Really nice stuff there. NAF just kind of lurking around mid. And he's doing like a, so this is like what I call patrolling. So he gives the bomb to his teammate. Now, like, think about like the timing here, right? We can even look at it from up here. So first he's looking this way, but he's also thinking, oh, they could be like pushing A, right? So now he checks this way, and then he's like, all right, well now they could have like been timing pushing mid, and he kind of catches like this timing now, where like he's peeking onto the enemy here, or he would have been peeking onto the enemy here. He's like patrolling between these two peaks, right? And the reason why I feel like patrolling is so good is because the enemies, like his field, his vision is like from here to here on this angle, right? And like over here would have been like from here to here, like this whole range, like kind of like this line right here and this line right here is where like the enemies could be walking through. And like in Counterstrike, you're always thinking like, all right, like, do I want to do the peeking or do I want to get peeked, right? So if NAF's kind of doing this like patrolling thing, he has the opportunity to be like, okay, there's like a high probability that they're gonna walk this line or walk this line, and eventually along their walk, I'm gonna peek them. And I think Counter-Strike, it's always advantageous to be doing the peeking. You catch people off guard. Sometimes they're just like not expecting it, and you get a little bit of peeker's advantage. So he comes to A site. Now that's an interesting spot that he just played here because I don't usually know what to do while my teammate's planning. So he kind of has this position here, which like if someone runs into sight, like he's able to hear them, and he's just kind of holding for the cave push. So it's like a really nice position, this corner here, where like if they did push up CT to try to kill the planter, he could just instantly swing and trade. And he kind of has like this little angle right here, which may not be great. I'm not actually entirely sure, but it worked, right? So now here's his post plant position. So I'm guessing this is going to be like similar to like Nitro's position in Cheetah, like probably just another sick off angle to hold. You can just stand here and people will like basically walk into your crosshair. So we're seeing like a lot of defaulting out of NAF. He's doing faint mid control here. Flames ate the flash. They're all on pistols. Oh, they're calling stop. Why'd they call stop? Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what? Alright, they called not live. Got it. So let's see what's up with this. Wait, it was 12-8, right? Yeah, okay, it was 12-8. Here we go. Alright, so NAF's going to throw the instant house smoke. So forward jump throw bind. Aim here. I do have another video on the instant house smokes. I think my video is actually missing one of them though. I need to re-record that video. So he's just holding for A main push. He's playing passive. His team, it looks like, did you Kinder run up mid or did he run up cave really? I think he ran up a Molly Cheetah. So he ran up Molly Cheetah. They don't want to peek in the Cheetah into the Molotov at this point because they know last time they got flash peeked. So they're kind of like, yeah. Kinder's like, alright, I have all of this. They instant smoked house and like probably didn't hear any nades mid, and they know it's an eco, so they're like, okay, there wasn't a nade stack mid, so let's just like walk out and see what happens. They're gonna molly back pillar and donut, clear that all out. So let's see what NAF's up to. This is like similar to like a Palace Lurk on Mirage, right? So that's a Neofrag's like in a really great spot in my opinion. A lot of players like don't clear this, but you know, NAF's next level. He knows that the player may have seen it, so he comes back and just makes sure. Like, so here's the thing: is Neofrag's playing this position here, which is like you can literally hold just like a pixel right here, right? And the thing is, you could come here and peek this like this if you really wanted, but you're just exposed to all this. So what NAF does here is he comes here, he clears this, clears all this, and then he knows that if that player saw the pixel, like what he's going to do is like, hey, I have one kill A main. Like the guy's going to come off here and start walking this way to try to flank him. So NAF's just like, let me clear all this out and be like, all right, let me just check this play. You're like, oh, found him, you know. So really nice stuff from NAF. Kind of like makes the enemy think that that he's not going to clear it, you know. And also that I like the HE that he's throwing, just kind of around here to really like deter them from playing in here, and if they are in there, just to weaken them up. Yeah, so Liquid do an A split because they walked out mid, had control. Your Kindar took this control and was holding towards here, and he was like, hey, they're not in Cheetah, they're not pushing B yet. And they're all like, we're walked out mid, we Molotoved into Donut. Like, alright, they're not playing Donut, so, and NAF walks, clears A main, he finds the kill, they're like, alright, let's do the split. So they smoke CT, they come out with 3 players, Donut, 1 player A main, take site, plant, same spot as before. Again, OC's kind of, you know, post planning from Donut, great position for where this bomb is planted. Yep, so let's continue. So NAF again with another instant house smoke. Different lineup than what I use. Maybe I need to update mine. Oh, I like these ones a lot too because they actually land like even deeper in there. That's great stuff. So they do the instant house smoke. It looks like, I think that's Alicia's smoke. Let's see. Yeah, Alicia tries the, well, that game's just broken. We can see that the smoke literally landed in the Molotov and didn't go out. But anyways, yeah, so he feigns mid control. Yakindar's throwing the B default nades and they're just walking out A again. This is really good because if the enemies aren't taking mid away, oh, and they're even flash. Wow, what a flash. So they smoked CT, mollied default, mollied back, big box. They probably, it doesn't look like they spammed this round, but you know, the enemies probably thought that they were spamming before, and they were probably like, dude, if they're in tempo, NAF's like, I'm gonna throw this awesome flash, and it bounces off this wall and blinds this player. And they plant, and they did not smoke Donut because they wanted to take Donut, and I think Elise was pinching from mid, if I'm not wrong, right? Yeah, he's like sitting on the other side of the donut smoke and comes, pinches, clears it. Great work by them. So NAF's just post planning back sight. He resmokes CT, he's holding the smoke. Smoke's about to fade. Someone may be phasing it. No one phased the smoke. Alright, clean round. Clean round. Okay, so NAF with the instant house smoke once again, same lineup from before. Comes to our mid. So they've been doing feign mid control a lot, and now it looks like they're actually, so they smoked and flash, and NAF's lurking A. Yakindar is going towards B. They are being more aggressive in cave this round. So Yakindar is finally seeing resistance, and I feel like the enemies are doing kind of what they should be doing in terms of getting in cave and mollying it early and smoking this, and hopefully they were nading over here in the beginning. I didn't see or not, but anyways, so Liquid are actually doing, so he's NAF smoked off A main. So the team walks out mid kinda, you know, they do like their house smoke and their they extinguish, and they have Yakindar over here dealing with like the cave swing, cheetah swing, making sure no one's swinging cheetah. And the enemies are actually stacked here. What's their money situation? Okay, so they do have rifles. They're just kind of low util, it looks like. Yeah, they don't have any Molotovs. Yeah. So they're doing default and double donut, right? So they... Yeah, okay. So they do like a donut take. And let's check this out. So we walk mid. We re-smoked house after our house smoke faded. Double flashing donut, be able to get this Molotov off safely. We have donut. They smoked this though, so we don't know if enemy's in the smoke, but we spammed it. We're not seeing it. Leash finds one. OC finds one. Nitro finds one. NAF walks out the smoke to pinch at the same time. And that's just like very important. If you like watch like the so you should always try to do this when you're playing. You see, like, watch the timing of this. NAF's holding the smoke right here, and then now his teammates are swinging, so now he's swinging through the smoke. So it's like, just if you're ever behind a smoke or anything, once your teammates are doing something, you should also be trying to do something at the same time, so you can create a scenario for the enemies where there's, you know, 2 enemies on their screen. Which is hard, because in Counterstrike, you're like, oh, I have to aim here, now I have to aim here, and they're both there at the same time, so like, which one do I pick, right? You kind of get in the enemy's mind. Alright, so 15-8. So NAF has this front spawn, he's going towards A. So NAF's definitely just been lurking towards A a lot. He did the feign mid a few times, he kind of does the patrol. So he just holds the A swing. Just want to kind of look at this again, because he runs up to this wall, all the way to the wall, and just holds the swing. He just deletes Neo. Yeah, really good stuff. I wonder if it's like... I guess it's good because you would be holding your crosshair very low. Like when Neo Frag is swinging, like he's always going to be holding his crosshair very low. Yeah. Just want to see that one more time. Yeah, so he's holding his crosshair low and he kind of swings out to like here. So I think NAF actually catches his arm because he's going to peek this and then peek more. So NAF kind of like catches his arm on the first peek. Um, so yeah, cool stuff to see. I mean, it's still a shot you would want to train up on though, because I mean, if that player does like wide swing and crouch at the same time the whole way, it may be hard to hit that shot, 10 out of 10 times. But that was just nice by NAF. I think that was a really cool angle to hold. Um, all right, so we get the A main kill. It looks like we had Cheetah, we had mid, right, and then now we're just kind of working towards B. So I think they got contact on NAF, which is exactly what they want. They wanted to, like, the enemies just having that intel, like one player mid, like when he jiggled and saw NAF, was just like enough to be like, okay, at least they're like calming something and, flooding TeamSpeak comms, and like now we're just like kind of walking out B at the same time. Um, all right, Yukindara Nitro find the kills to end the game. Cool. That was great. I mean, we saw kind of what they were doing with like feigning mid control, going mid late, like resmoking house, knowing the instant house smokes, kind of what to do for doing like a cheetah control, and then we saw like the part two that we went into for doing the cave control with that Molotov in the back right, and maybe have players clearing out cave together. Yeah, and we saw a lot of good like lurking from NAF. We saw A pops and B pops on T-Side Ancient. So that was awesome. I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. Remember that I'm the number one Liquid fan in NA. Yeah, thanks. Like and subscribe. Peace.